Getting lean in 30 days will change your life. It's changed my life 2 times. Over the last decade, I've transformed my body 5 times, going from fat to shredded in attempt to be able to get my pro card. But in 2 of those 5 times, I did it really quickly. And the first time was in my 3rd year of medical school, and I'll tell you exactly why I needed to do that. And the second time in my life is right now. In the last 30 days, I've dropped 10.6 pounds, and I'm in the shape of my life. And these 10 reasons, these 10 mental hacks that I need to overcome was what was required for me to be able to do it. I'm going to share these 10 mental hacks with you, and you will see that there's going to be no more friction between where you currently are, which is your current state, and where you finally need to be. These 10 reasons are a video to my future self in the event that I ever drift, so that I can come back and watch and realize what my purpose is, so I can finally reach the final destination. Let's not waste any time. I'm going to get into the first one, and that is intrinsic motivation. What we are fed by today is a lot of extrinsic motivation, especially coming from social media. Guys like myself, you'll watch a video and that extrinsic motivation usually serves as a spark. But we know that motivation, quote unquote, can be crap, or it can be finite. It's a limited supply, and that's because it's coming from somebody else. But what is an infinite supply is intrinsic motivation. So when you can take the spark from someone else, when you can read a passage, when you can read a sentence from a book, or when you hear an inspiring quote, the main purpose of that quote is really to inspire your motion so that there can be no more friction in your life, so you can finally get to where you need to. Let me explain. In 30 days, getting into amazing shape can be, and starting to see the physical manifestation of the ideas that you have in your mind, can be extremely powerful. As a man, when you can see yourself really bend your reality in terms of the way you look with your own physique, that is the highest form of motivation. When you start seeing your chest grow a little bit bigger, when you start seeing a few more lines in your abs, and that doesn't happen in a week, that happens in 30 days. That is usually all that is required to set you in the right trajectory. Just show the man a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and he will keep going, compared to running completely in the dark. So intrinsic motivation is this infinite level of motivation you will forever have, not just in your physical manifestation as your body, but in your business, with your kids, with everyone. You will be a motivator to yourself, but everyone around you. You go from being the symbiote where you need someone to being completely reliant upon yourself. So the number one reason I wanted to get lean in 30 days was to show myself that I am my own motivator, and that is an extremely powerful frame to come from. So it is important that you get lean in 30 days. And just for everyone out there, before you complain, I use the word 30 days because it's usually what is required to set yourself in the right trajectory. We need a strong 30 days. Usually in health and fitness, how you start is usually how you finish. So this video was for you to lock in. Number 2, patience. I am the most impatient person in the world, or used to be. I wanted things to happen yesterday. I want things to happen quickly. And what I really realized is when I wanted quick fixes, dopamine hits, it usually used to come with a poor level of quality. I'm sure you've heard all good things take time. And that is the same thing that getting a lean physique will teach you, is that you need to have patience to be able to see the things happen in your body. And being able to learn patience from your physique, doing small tiny habits each and every single day, compound after 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days can be eye-opening. And when you take those same principles of giving yourself 30 days, then another 30 days, then 6 months, then a year, you will start seeing that the result of all your patience is going to be a much bigger reward compared to when you're impatient and you want it quickly. All the people I've ever worked with, when they wanted results quickly, they wanted to do surgeries, they wanted to do Ozempic, and all those things are unsustainable. But when you are patient, when you practice patience, you start seeing that the return on investment is so much bigger. So I need you to be able to take that internally and learn patience. You will see this patience that you develop with your body really manifest itself in your business, with your loved ones, with your kids, whatever scenario you're in, you'll always see that good things take time. And this is why you need to get lean in 30 days, so that you can take these same principles you learn about your body and apply them in everything else. Number 3, you as a person watching this video right now is a culmination of all your experiences. Who you are watching this video, your name, if it's Michael, if it's Jeffrey, if it's John. John is a result of all the experiences that they've had from birth until this point. What those experiences are usually comprised of that make you who you are is all the adversity that you've overcame. And anybody who gets a lean muscular physique, when you see that person, you understand all the adversity they've had to go through to be able to reach that point. Example, when you're on the cardio machine, 10 minutes is easy, but when it gets to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, all your brain is doing is begging you to get off. But when you keep on practicing and pushing through and breaking these boundaries, you start to realize how resilient and how powerful you are. And when people see you, when they see a lean muscular physique, they look at a perseverant person. They look at a resilient person. They look at a person who has consistently overcome adversity. The same applies when you're working out. When you're doing 10 reps, but really you should be doing 12, it's the 11th and 12th rep that really matter the most. It is at that point when you're pushing the boundaries of your existence and being able to overcome those. And when you take these same experiences you're having with your own physique of overcoming adversity, being perseverant, and pushing yourself, you can do the same in your business. And this is exactly what I did when I was in medical school. And getting into medical school, it was challenging. It was extremely competitive. But because I had practiced this perseverance and overcoming adversity in the gym, I never gave up. I just said, Mike, keep going. And you need to do the same. And this is exactly why I say getting lean in 30 days, at least making a dent. Maybe you're at 40% body fat and it's going to take you longer than 30 days. It is the first 30 days that is what's required to set yourself in motion to finally reach the destination. And I want to say this to everybody. The day you start lifting or getting in shape is the day you'll forever be small. When I heard this in my first year of lifting, I never understood. But as human beings, we're always seeking more and seeking bigger. So when it comes to your physique, it never ends. So what's the point of being in such a rush with finally seeing your six-pack and your abs? Just focus on the first 30 days. Focus on what's in front of you. And this is extremely important as why perseverance is being taught when you're going through bodybuilding. Everything you learn with your body, you can apply. And the same has happened to me. I always wanted to be successful. I wanted to be a successful man. And I knew that if I could overcome my body, I could overcome anything else. And this is why people say that it is more rare to find someone with a six-pack than to meet a millionaire. Because if you can overcome your body, you can overcome everything else. Everything else after that is so easy. Reason number 4 is confidence. The way you're able to carry yourself, the words that you speak, the way you behave is all rooted at your level of confidence. And you may wonder, where does confidence come from? Confidence is a culmination of the votes that you've casted on a particular topic or a particular task that you've done before. Example, if you step on stage for the first time in front of 10,000 people, you'll be extremely nervous. However, when you repeat this action multiple times, and maybe the first time was a train wreck, the second time is a little bit better. The third time you get even a little bit better. And you've done it 10,000 times, and this is where the concept of 10,000 hours have come from. You develop a level of confidence. And the same applies with your physique. Your physique is a physical manifestation of the repetitions you have done in the gym. It's a physical manifestation of the repetitions you've done in the kitchen. And so much more when you know that everyone around you is unable to do what you can do. It gives you a high degree of confidence. And when I walk around, I can wear a baggy t-shirt, but people can see from the width of my shoulders and the volume of my chest by me being a confident man. It is the equivalent of wearing a lion's mane. The most powerful lion usually has the most puffy, the most hairy mane, and the same applies to that of a man. And even so, when I have had clients come to me in 30 to 40% body fat, their physique usually looks like this. They're hunched over because the fat in their belly and in their chest is usually hunching them over. But when they start training and they develop stronger back muscles, they stand tall, they stand proud, and it projects a high level of confidence. The highest level of confidence is the one that is not spoken. So when you wear clothes, you don't even need to wear designer because it shows a high level of confidence by the repetitions you've done in your body. And I'll tell you this, I was a shy, quiet, not confident person in the past. But when I saw with my own eyes what I was capable of on a physical level, nothing could stand in my way. And even now, when I find myself in awkward situations like growing my business or becoming a better person, I have confidence in myself, even in a realm that I've never developed before, because I've casted votes in my own body in the first place, and then applied that same principle in business, applied the same principle in YouTube. I've made 900 videos. My first 300 sucked. So when you finally get lean, you will project an automatic confidence that no one can take away from me. And I remember my dad saying, Mike, go to university. No one can take away what's in your mind. And the same applies when you learn how to get lean in 30 days. No one can take that away from you, because once you've learned it once, you'll be able to do it over and over and over again, just like I have. Number 5 is lifespan. The one thing that all of us humans live on the exact same plane as is time. You may be divided by your physique status, by your financial status, by your color, whatever us stupid humans like to differentiate ourselves by. But the one thing we all have in common that will always be the great equalizer is time. And by being a healthier, leaner, stronger version of yourself, you're essentially buying yourself more time. Of course, there are black swan events that happen in many people's lives, but it is up to you to be able to make sure that in your power, in your capacity, that you spend as much time on this earth with the people that you love the most and being able to be the best version of yourselves in front of them. When I've been able to help my clients live longer, to move faster, and to feel younger, that fact has been the most invaluable. And not even just doing it for them. I've had clients who've referred their mom, their dad, their uncles, and just seeing them being a more energetic and a more vibrant state of themselves because they don't have 30 to 40 pounds holding them down. They were eternally grateful to me. And you need to do the same as well. It's up to you not to just get lean for yourself, but to be able to buy time for the people that you love the most on this earth. That is all the intrinsic reasons. Let's move over to the extrinsic reasons of why you need to get lean in 30 days and how it's going to change your life. Being lean is the physical manifestation of power. When you see a man walk into the room, broad shoulders, thick chest, in a good tight suit, that is a physical manifestation of power. That man looks like he's able to pick somebody up if they're in trouble, be able to help people out of a burning building. It is the ideas that transpire when you see someone in amazing shape, is this level of power without even having to express that, not needing to wear diamonds or wear fancy clothing or wear an expensive watch. When you can see a lean, healthy man or woman, it is a physical manifestation of power. It represents to you, you can only imagine how much weight did that person have to squat, deadlift, or bench press. How much time did that person have to run? It is the physical manifestation of power. And being able to exude that in the room of people who have never been able to do that is even more powerful. And this is why so many people respect people in incredible shape. I met a client here and he said, Mike, I don't respect people who don't take care of themselves, and I don't do business with them because they will not respect anything truly that I do with them, because if they can't do it for themselves, why are they going to do it for me? And when you can show people that you're in control, you can watch what you put in your mouth. You can say no to drinks. You can go and do cardio and train when you say you're going to. That is a very powerful state. When you see a man that is truly free, and when I say free, I mean that they can run, that they can jump, they have the financial freedom to do so, That is true power. And a lot of people have the financial, but they don't have the financial and the physical. Aura. If you've ever watched anime, if you've ever seen Dragon Ball Z, you will always see this hue around them. If you've ever watched the anime One Piece, or if you've ever watched any superhero movie, there's always this energy that is exuded outside of the person. Now, that may be in a fictional state, but have you ever sat in a room and noticed that someone was standing behind you? Or have you ever walked around and you saw that everyone started to look at somebody and you wondered, who is that? Have you ever noticed when there are people driving around and there's a motorcade and you're just like, who's that? Or when you're just seated in a room and you just look at a man walk past and you feel, oh, something happened. That is what you would describe as aura. It is this energy that you feel from a person, but it is very difficult to describe. And when you're in a strong, powerful state, when you're in a lean state, you exude a higher level of aura compared to when you're fat. This usually is a byproduct of your confidence, but the level of aura that you can have around you can be extremely beneficial, and it can be life-changing because, number one, more people are going to want to be around you. Number two, more people are going to want to help you because of the aura that you bring around. And even for myself, think about this. I am a boy who was born in Cuba with an African passport. But I have so many people around the world who want to be around me. It's because of the aura that I can bring. Not just because of my, I would believe, good nature, but because when I'm next to them, I'm a representation of peak performance and health. And that aura you feel is what people around you always want to feel. So if you have nothing to give, the first thing you can do is invest in yourself and then exude that aura where people are going to want to be around you. And I've noticed this tremendously. I get invited to different scenarios when I'm lean, especially when I'm lean, because I can provide an aura. And even so, you'll get people come to you. You may have nothing to offer, but they might look at you with a shirt and just be like, hey man, like, are you famous? And this actually happened. This happened this weekend. So quick story. I went to the F1, I went to the bathroom, and the guy was like, hey man, I thought you were Lewis Hamilton's brother. And I was like, low-key racist, but you know, I was wearing my earrings, I was wearing a tight fit shirt, and people were looking at me. People asked me a few times, they're like, hey man, do I know you from somewhere? And maybe they did, maybe they noticed me from YouTube, but because of the way I carried myself, because of my aura, forget anything I've said. Think about the person who inspires you the most and ask yourself, does that person have aura? Does that person have an energy that you are attracted to and you want to be a part of that you can't explain in words? That exactly is aura. And when you get lean, you get to a level where you're just exuding aura as a byproduct of just having 20, 30, 40 pounds less of fat on your body. And with aura comes respect. Again, it is much harder to get a six-pack than it is to become a millionaire. And people will always respect something that is very difficult to attain. It's exactly why when you see someone driving a supercar, you automatically, without speaking to them, have a certain level of respect because you know that supercar is not easy to attain. Or when you see someone wearing an expensive watch, or when you see someone having a beautiful home, automatically there's a certain level of respect you give that person because of the difficulty of attainment of that particular object. And that's in the most shallow sense. But think about it when it comes to your physique. How many people in this world have attempted to get lean and failed? But when you're able to overcome and people around you, everybody who has attempted and failed, see that you've managed to do it, it commands a level of respect that is even more valuable than the materialistic things that you can acquire. Because this is when they can see you're at a higher level of consciousness. The plane that you operate in is so different compared to every peer around you. Why getting lean is so hard is because it's all nutrition. Going to the gym is easy. That's a 1 hour commitment out of your 24 hours. But getting lean is a diet commitment. And when you're dieting, it's 24/7. And getting lean does not cheat anybody, and you cannot cheat getting lean. Because you might diet for 23 hours and then go to the club and then have an entire bottle of alcohol, and you're already in the same place that you were 2 days ago or even a week ago. Or in the same token, you might be dieting for 6 days in a week, and then you have a cheat day entirely, and you'll notice that you've taken a couple of steps back. And that is just on your own. But when you're in great shape, that is a representation of someone who stayed disciplined, especially when it's difficult. And for clarity for everyone, what I see discipline as is not doing more than what you're supposed to. It's not doing less than what you're supposed to. It's doing exactly what you're supposed to, especially when you don't want to. And when people see that you can do that with your own body, it exudes a level of trust. When I speak to people, and I've worked with incredible people, they're like, Mike, I trust you, because they see my physique already as that physical manifestation. And when we're able to do that with their own, even more so. When you're able to see someone do that day in and day out, the most difficult thing, being disciplined 24/7, someone's always going to trust you. And think about it like this. Just take you yourself as a person and close your eyes and think about the lean version of yourself, and then think about the fat version of yourself. And you had to give that person $100,000 and they had to take care of that money. Who are you going to give it to? You're going to give it to the person who stayed disciplined, who made the right decisions, and who was consistent, compared to the person who was gluttonous, was overeating, couldn't really control their desires, and they would just give in to any temptation. So that's exactly why being lean is a message. It is an embodiment of trust. And the final one is networking. In this world, we all start at zero. And you may be in a difficult scenario in your life. And I was too. I was a broke student. And you may not have anything to offer. But the first thing you can do is invest in yourself physically. Get a coach, get a trainer, start eating healthier, start changing you. And immediately, as I told you, it is more rare to be in shape and have a six-pack than it is to be a millionaire. Automatically, you have something to offer people. You have advice to offer. You have a mindset to offer. You have knowledge to offer on how you reached a unique position that other people cannot. And that automatically gives you a reason to network. I went to a mastermind, a friend of mine's mastermind, and it was a room of 40 millionaires. No one, and maybe some people knew who I was, but automatically one person came to come talk to me because they knew me from YouTube, and 15 minutes later there was 4 or 5 people. 30 minutes later there was 6, 7 people, because they were interested in what I had to offer. And just by seeing my physique, just by eyes, without hearing what I was saying, they were like, he's probably talking about something in relation to his body because that is unique. So it is an amazing tool to network. People always want to learn from you. Most people are out of shape. The obesity rates are increasing. So if you're not in shape and you're looking for a way to elevate yourself in this world, get in shape, and people are going to have a reason to talk to you. Peace.